Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for the Supreme Series, event number 3. That's the Supreme Masters, and we have a match up here on the loser side. You got Oly Bale from Wales versus Bedford, also from Wales. There's a all Welsh lineup, and you got Viv Roscoe, who's refereeing this game. So for those who are just joining in, good evening to you. I'm sure there's going to be many repeat viewers who have watched the last game. That exciting game between Mick Hill and Carlo O'Donoghue. So we're just setting up the first frame. And my name is Cleve Thompson, and I'll be commentating on this game today. So it's the losers round of round 3, and it's first to 8. So just quickly, we go through some score lines while this is setting up. In the losers section, round 3, you got Ryan Milson versus, he's 4-2 up against Richard Swafford. Mark Boyle's 4-3 up against Liam White. Callum Singleton is 2-0 up against Harjit Singh. John McAllister's 5-3 up against Michael Smelt. Matthew Schofield and Declan Brennan, 2 apiece. Ben Fortey's already won against his game against Christy Caulfield. And Yannick Buffel 6-4 up against Seb Webb. So we're on to the first frame here. Cole won the lag, so he's breaking first. And he's hitting pretty well, making a ball of each. So those who are World Rules players, you don't need to nominate after the break in black ball rules, but you must pot the ball, otherwise it becomes an open table still. So he's got options of playing plants like a yellow onto a red, for example, or a red onto yellow. I'm not saying that that's what he's going to do. So it effectively just remains open table after the break, and you can hit any ball apart from the black as a first shot. So I think he's going to want to take reds here. So he's going for a long red as his first shot. And he's hit that pretty well. Nice stop shot there. Make no mistakes, this should be a pretty fast, game or match, shall I say. Oly Bale, he's known to be very quick, no hanging around, and the same for young Cole Bedford as well. You probably say Cole Bedford's a little bit more slow, but they like to get on with things. So we had a simple drop into the middle there. Doesn't look like where the black goes, so he's got to negotiate how to get onto that black there. He might opt to play for a double on the black as a finish. Can't see why not. So played a double on that red there, but I don't think he's got the white ways like when he wants it. He's going to have to think about how he finishes here. I can't tell if that black passes or not. Not too sure. Certainly doesn't go, so he must be it would surprise me if he comes across 2 ways, putting his cue there now. If he falls a bit short, he's got options of, I think, putting it long to the bottom right hand corner. I think it passes that yellow there if he does come short. So he's played the shot that he attempted, but he's not gone forward enough with the white, so not much damage done because he's still got outs for double. So it could have been a lot worse there. And he's made that double there, so 1-0 to Oly Bedford. Break and run. So just going through the remainder of the scorelines of the loser section to pick up where I left from. Actually, we go again. We go from the top to beginning, from the top to bottom on the loser section. So it's a race to 8. So you've got Ryan Milson, 4-2 up against Richard Swaffield. Liam White and Mark Boyle, a 4-piece. Harjit Singh trading 1-2 to Callum Singleton. John McAllister's leading Michael Smout, 6-4. 3-2 to Matthew Scofield against Declan Brennan. Yannick Bowfields versus Seb Webb. Yannick's leading 6-5. John Rowe and Michael Rhodes, 3 apiece. 4-2 to Phil Howson against Zach Shepherd. And Ryan Passini from Malta leading Sean Story 7-3. We've got Liam Dunster leading Paul Riley 4-1. Richard King leading Simon Fitzsimmons 7-3. Neil Wren leading Andrew Mackey 3-2. Scott Gillespie leading Jez Graham 6-3, and Gareth Hibbert leading John Chapman 3-2. So back to the game here. Oly Bale broke and made a ball, but he's missed his first shot. He missed a shot playing the plant. Like I said, it's not going to be any hanging about on this game. So you can see the crowd there. You've got Ben 40, who's probably going to have a case of Benjamin Button, if anyone have ever seen that film, where he ages backwards. Right, so Viv's got her work cut out here, but I'm sure she's trained enough to make light work of removing certain balls to lift a shark rack. And the interesting thing is them 2 reds are touching, they look like they're touching ball. So she's going to have to get it back in that spot there where it was touching, if it was touching ball. Obviously not forgetting what ball she's lifting up. So she's lifted the white ball up and the red. I think she's going to have to move the red nearest to the black. From that side, that's it. She's just figuring it out, but I'm sure she'll get it right. That's the one, right about there. And we've got to appreciate the work she's doing there, because that was very difficult, and she had to position herself, make sure she made the right choices. So please, do not take this very lightly to how she's made her choice into removing the ball. So she's doing a top job there, very professional in her work. And all she's got left is just to put the white back where it was. And game can commence again. So time running. Got Cole Bedford at the table. It's open table. So if you can see enough of this ball into the middle pocket, he's going to look at probably coming from top ball, top side, top cushion up, sorry, and go into that little 2-ball cluster at the top of the table to release his red. All depends how thick he can hit this. So it's called extension. If he's not happy with it where it is now, he can opt to play it later, but he kind of wants it as an insurance. He's got the red over the pocket as an insurance, just in case he doesn't split well. And he's just missed it. So he is reds. So it's just played a little containing safety shot there. Shouldn't be a problem for Oly to get out of this snooker. And for those who know of Paul for a little while, Oly's notoriously famous for playing one-handed. Very good at that. Former European champion. So I don't really know much about Cole Bedford. See him on Facebook a few times. So I don't really much about his pedigree, but I know that he's a rising young talent in the game. Just by looking at certain results in some tournaments that he plays in. So he looks like he's kind of forced to take out this finish. Now, I'm not sure how tight that is from the red next to the yellow. I don't know if he can land on it in a way that he can actually play a double into the centre if he comes high enough at the table, if he runs out of options of splitting those up. And he's asking a lot of questions, and how's your luck? He seems to be able to have one last try at doing this, but I think he's going to go for cut his losses and settle for the double. And he's not hit that hard enough. So he's up to play the right shot in that circumstance rather than, I'll say the right shot, but you know, he's up to play to release his red. And very quickly he might be rewarded for doing that shot because Oly Bale's just missed a. Well, it goes to show that nothing's guaranteed in this game. No pot is guaranteed. No plant is guaranteed. And he's played a double into the middle pocket and he's missed that, so do fancy Oly Bale to forgive himself for the mistake he just made and get in position on this frame here. So he's put him in probably a pretty clever snooker, to be fair. He can't really go one cushion, and this is the pot it. I don't think he can go one cushion to pot it. He's looking like he's playing a swerve, a swerve back into the back around the yellow of the top cushion. The only thing I'm worried about is that will it bite enough, because I think the white ball might be a bit too close to the to the top cushion before it starts biting. Oh, I was wrong. He's actually overbite it. So. Although Cole ran out on his first frame, I think he just needs to set himself down. One thing you can definitely make sure that Oly Bale's not going to be faced by the arena setup here. You know, this is a familiar territory for him, playing under these conditions. You know, he was once a very accomplished player. You know, being a former European champion. So it's 1-1, a race to 8 in the loser section. Oly Bale versus Cole Bedford. So, just one apiece. Just want to say a shout out to Tom Church and Jamie McGawley, Emma Cunningham, Jimmy Wharton, Nick Bowden and Lauren Williams. Some of the team I play with in Milton Keynes. So back to the third frame. Cole broke, and he's broken dry here. I think Ollie's gonna opt to go for yellows. And like I said, Ollie's not going to mess around in this finish, or in this attempt to finish. I'm not going to say about his finish, because, you know, you can never take for granted. So Viv Rusko again, doing a marvellous job in placing the ball markers so she can remove the right ball, so she can remove the shark rack. And you know, I appreciate that some people may find it a little bit inconvenient with the shark rack, in terms of maybe the fluency of a frame to begin with. I personally think it's a small price to pay on, and it's only a handful of percentage, shall I say, per match where there's an awkward situation where you have to remove certain balls to remove the shark rack. I think it's a very small price to pay to have a rack that has every ball touching each other. Therefore, you cannot blame a bad rack for your break. So Oly's played a screw shot on and off the back cushion, off the side cushion, and it's not turned out too well. So just another quick update in the loser section. We've had a few games finish. So Yannick Buffels beat Seb Webb 8-5. So that's the end of Seb Webb's campaign at this year's Supreme Masters here at Newcastle under Lyme. Ryan Piscini from Malta beat Sean Story 8-3. And we have another result where Scott Gillespie has beaten Jess Graham 8-3 as well. So Cole's up to plate for a containing safety shot there, where he's just blocked the path of that yellow into the middle pocket. So, by the fact that Cole's potted in the ball, it looks like he's looking for a finish here. So he looks like he's going to play this red on the right-hand side to the middle pocket and come across to play the red on the side cushion off his own red. He's not gone far enough, but he should be okay. So a good thing about the red that he's going to play off, it's not going to go too far. And he's played a good shot there, all of a sudden, but they all go. So he started off, you know, with a couple of relatively difficult shots to say. Wasn't as easy as it just looked. And he's created himself an opportunity. He's used all of the pocket there, and you might find that you know, it's a new cloth, that balls might just slide in a little bit more than one would think. So he could have done with an extra half roll here. So he's just got to mind his work on this shot here. Just play like a nice holding soft screw. And he's kind of got away with that, but you know, you make your own case on the frame, on the game. Every time you're at the table, it's down to yourself. So he's just composing himself, checking the angles of the pot, the black. Just like going to the middle pocket. And he's made it, and it's 2-1 to Cole Bedford against Oly Bale. So, just give you an update of the games here. As you can see on the screen, 5-4 to Gareth Hibbert against John Chapman. 4-3 to Neil Wren, who's having a, I don't want to say a blinder, but he's beaten a few players. He took out Ben Davies in the last round. Richard King leading Simon Fitzsimmons 7-6. So Simon Fitzsimmons have clawed a little bit back. 6-1 to Liam Dunster. Phil Harrison's keeping Zach Shepherd at bay. I think the dark horse, well, the screen's come off, so I presume that his one is John Rowe. You know, he just quietly goes about his business. Callum Singleton leading Harjit Singh 4-1. And Liam White, local lad, leading against Mark Boyle 7-4. So we see a nice solid break there from Oly Bale. He's okay there. Just clipped the red, but he's okay. He's not made any damage blocking the path. And you know, like I said, you know, Oly Bale's very quick fire. And he's got to count himself lucky there, to be fair, because he's missed a pot, but he would have snooked himself. So, don't want to say lucky, fortunate is the correct word I believe to be using. So he's played a little shot there, just sort of messed the table a little bit. So what you'll find is all games are going on all 16 tables at a time. All of them in immaculate condition. And you expect that, you know, with the likes of Lee Kendall and Gareth Potts running the club, owning the club. So he's gone into the little cluster there and he's landed, I believe, absolutely perfect on that yellow. So just a gentle, nice little stun there across the face. And looks like he's going to chip this in and take the black into the right centre. And Oly Bale has levelled the game to 2 apiece.
Frame number 5, Oly Bedford to break.
So we're on to frame number 5
Time running.
with Oly Bedford to break. So it's come up there dry, so it's not made a ball. So I just want to say a quick shout out to my team. That's the Milton Keynes ball bags. So it's open table at the moment, and Oly Bedford's at the table.
What round is it for?
So it's still open table right now. Neither player wants to commit, and rightly so. So up next on one of the streaming tables, you're going to have Ben 40 versus Greg Batten, and that's round 4 on the loser section. Next on one of the streaming tables. So all you got to do is just click on the Beard Productions logo on YouTube, and that'll take you to a list of which tables you want to watch and view. So Cole's playing aggressive there. He just played a stun shot into that little cluster. So I think you can see enough of that ball at the top there, and just cannon into the red underneath it, just a hole for the next yellow. And there you go. Depending on the angle, he might opt to kiss into the red, just to make it a better shot on the angle for his last yellow to get onto the black, so he's on the right side of it. And he's took these out well, to be fair. Just composing himself. So he's just got to play a nice gentle stop shot here. And he's played that well. He's played that perfect. He could have easily just gone backwards on that shot by accident, which is very easy to do on English 8-ball tables, I believe, compared to snooker tables or American pool, and that's because the white ball's a smaller object than the object ball. Sorry, the cue ball is a smaller size than the object ball, so your general stop shots are a bit harder to play in comparison. However, if you're a player who just plays pool and nothing but pool, you're going to be familiar with that shot, so it's not going to be so bad. So just a quick update as you can see in the loser section. It's there to see for yourself, but just looking at some notable games. So Callum Singleton's leading Harjit Singh on table 11, 5 frames to 2. Phil Harrison leading Zach Shepherd on table 10, 6 frames to 2. 4, apologise. And this looks like a bit of a lineup coming up in round 4. So you've got Tom Cousins versus John McAllister. That's going to be a mouth-watering match there. So we're going back to the live arena, the main arena. Live at Players Pool Club here in Newcastle on the Line. And it's the Supreme Masters Event 3. And it's a £13,000 to the winner. So Oly's gone for yellows, and again, you know, he's not going to make he's not going to hang about. What you'll see with Oly is quick thinking, goes down and plays his shot. And that's just made the pocket there. So I think he's going to be taking this at the top, but I don't know if he's going to be able to cue well into it. And he's played that very well. That wasn't as easy as it looked. I mean, Oly Bale makes it look like it's easy because that's down to the way he does play the game. He doesn't make a fuss of shots. He sees it, he aims, and then he fires. Could have played that shot a little bit better there. Great recovery, and you can hear that. That's a round of applause for Oly Bale. So he's got his supporters there, his fans, giving him support. So, Oly Bale takes out a frame there, a nice black into the top right-hand corner. So Viv Rusco is our referee today on this game here, and it's 3 apiece.
Frame number 7, call Bedford to break. 3 frames all. Time running. Foul.
So there's a foul break there
1 free shot, 1 visit.
by Cole Bedford.
Time running. Time out.
So he just asked for a timeout because Viv's going to move the shark rack away. This looks a lot easier than well, it should be more simple. I don't think she has to use any ball markers. I'm not too sure. So Oly Bale's got 1 free shot and a visit, if that's the correct terminology to use. So it seemed that Viv did use a ball marker, but you know, better to be safe than sorry. So he's definitely going to be taking reds here. He just opened that pathway up by taking that long yellow. So he's going to have to just drop this in and play before the gap between the black and yellow, which he's going to be faced with a fairly tough shot here. He's definitely going to have to screw into the two yellows, and he has missed. So Cole Bedford back at the table, and he'd be probably happy to be back at the table because those reds there looked fairly open. There wasn't really any traffic there, but Oly Bale sort of got himself into sort of careless positional play, really, where he couldn't map out the finish correctly. So it's a chance for young Cole Bedford to capitalise on that mistake from of Oly Bale there, and give himself a chance to go 4-3 ahead. Well, I don't know if he had a rush of blood there or what, but he's missed that ball by a mile. I don't believe that was a kick. It could have been a kick, but I don't think it was. He's missed it by a fair way for it to be a kick so bad. So Cole Bedford now finds himself trailing 3 frames to 4, where he should have been leading 4 frames to 3 after Oly Bale's mistake on clearing up. So Oly Bale with the break as we go into the 8th frame.
Frame number 8, Oly Bale to break, leading 4 frames to 3. Time running. Foul.
So frame 8, and Oly Bale broke there,
1 free shot.
and it's now Cole Bedford's turn to have a free visit, 1 free shot on a visit. And it's funny, this is literally mirror image of Oly Bale's break in the last frame. Sorry, of Cole Bedford's break in the last frame, and how the balls came out. It's very mirror image. The yellow by the bulk line's near enough the same area. So he's up to go yellow, so he's just put the red safe at the top cushion, and it's generally a funny shot to play for those who play world rules and cross over to playing black ball. When having a shot and a visit, what you find is that the natural black ball players, they play that shot, they think of that shot very easily to put a ball safe as their first shot, as an insurance. For those who play world rules and then kind of cross over, they don't really see that shot automatically, so it's not a familiar shot for them. I certainly struggle with it myself, being predominantly a world rules player. But he's made nice use of releasing that pocket there. He didn't need to, but he's just put another red safe. So it's a clever shot there. Taking full advantage. So I don't think any of these yellows are on the plastic of the shark rack. So they go quite freely. But he is going to be moving the shark rack, because I think where the diamond is cut onto the shark rack, I think the white ball will travel over if he's just rolling that ball pretty gently. So Viv doing a professional job there, just getting the ball marker to move that yellow, so she can just slide the shark rack. Steady hands there. I guess with the shark rack, probably pays probably going to seem more easier for women to sort of handle, dare I say. I might get slapped for this, but they generally are more for sewing. But back to the game. And Bad miss there from Cole Bedford. And it's a foul on a visit. 1 free shot on a visit, shall I say. It's been given away by Oly Bale. And please, I hope no one's taken any offence to my last comment there. So just a general stun up the table for the black into the right corner. And okay, he's up to play into the right centre. And it's 4-piece with Cole Bedford to break on the 9th frame.
Frame number 9. Cole Bedford to break. 4 frames all. Time limit.
So we are on to frame number 9 here in the Supreme Masters event here. And he's come up dry. So we've had 2 win-offs, one after the other, and a dry break. So we've got Oly Bale at the table. Now if this yellow passes the other yellow, he can screw into that, to the red next to yellow. Just to open up a little bit, but I'm not too sure. He'll know better than we do. Okay, so he's played that pretty okay. He might ask the referee to move the shot rack, which he's doing. So she's moved that carefully. And now play will continue. Oh, that's a very nice shot there from Oly Bale. That's a very, very nice shot. he made no fuss about it. Again, it's just got a minus work. And you know, it seems that he in this match there seems to be quite a few shots where just sort of finish a line, but it's just a bit tricky after doing so much of the hard work. But he's okay there. He's hit that a bit pacey, but it should be fine. Should be relatively comfortable for a man of his class. And he's taken them out, and that makes it 5-4 to Oly Bale, and he has the break. Moving on to frame 10. So a reverse dish pair from Oly Bale. So just a few up-to-date results here, or scoreline, shall I say. A few in the loser section, sorry, on loser round 3 right at the bottom there, as you can see on screen. But mainly at the top is we're moving into round 4 of the loser section. So Chris Medlin is leading John Rowe 2-1, and Dave Fernandez is leading Ryan Pisani from Malta 3-0. Dan McVicker and Scott Gillespie is 1 apiece. And you've got Greg Batten leading Ben Forty 1-0, and Tom Cousins leading John McAllister 1-0. Also Liam White leading Drew Hughes 1-0 there. So this round here is losers round 3 on the main arena, as you see here at Players Pool Club. So seems they're another dry break. So they've back to back with each other. They've had a in-off break, then an in-off break, or shall I say a scratch break and a scratch break, and then dry break and dry break. And Cole's opt to go for yellows. Now these should be relatively straightforward to take out, but you know, always got to take them out with care. So he might take the yellow. So he's taking the middle one out of the trio, shall I say, not trio. If you could see where probably couldn't see it, so looks like it's going to clear the top side of the table first, that top yellow there in the bulk area, and just land anywhere where his where the white ball is now. He's just got simple stun shot really, and he should be home and dry. So it's okay. He's going to have to play with a little bit of check side just to kill the white ball a little bit. And sort of probably take a little cut back into the black ball into the middle pocket. Wow. Another unexpected, I'm not going to say it's a miss, just didn't get the pace right to drop it in. He tried to get it thicker than anticipated, and it's just hit the knuckle and just kind of stopped there, really. So Oly's decided to go for the snooker. It's quite a clever snooker because he can't just come off the side cushion because the black ball's in the way. So he might have to play a long swerve. And to play this, he's got to come out wide, not that wide, but because of the distance of the white ball. No, he's playing the jaws and going across the rail. And he's played that absolutely well. He's played that absolutely well. And it's 5 apiece. As you can see there in the replay, it's a lovely shot there. Especially from that distance as well. And that angle normally is a little bit easier when you're kind of towards the side of the pocket that you want to aim for to use a draw. But to go across the face of the table to do, I don't know what you want to call it, you can call it a jaw shot, jaw rail, whatever, you know, I don't think there's a name for that kind of shot, but for those who know, to go across the face of the table to do that shot is normally a little bit harder to do, to judge, because you got kind of more surface of the first draw to aim for. Normally you end up picking the wrong spot. But he's played that well. He's got the pace right as well for it to run along the rail, so he deserves that, and so that brings it to 5 apiece. So in effect, it now becomes a best of 5. For this all Welsh affair between Cole Bedford and Oly Bale. So let's see if Cole can make a ball off the break. He's decided to break a little bit more from the side this time, and you can hear that break. He actually crunched them. You can really hear it. How well he connected that front ball. I think he'll be going for reds here. So once again, Viv doing a fantastic job with removing the ball so she can get the shot rack. And you know, the referees, they carry a lot of ball markers. I believe probably 3, maybe even 4. And what you will notice is that if they're just moving 1 ball or 2 balls, depending on how many ball markers they use, they'll bring it to the cushion and they'll put a ball marker on it to symbolise that they've moved that ball. So he might opt to play the red closer to the black and just nudge into the red beside it to take to the top corner. Okay, he's played a different shot there, shot that I didn't see. He's decided to play it off the yellow, so he just opens up the pathway lovely. It's actually a clever shot in the end. It's worked out very well. And you could tell that Bedford is definitely more a pool player than any kind of snooker background, because the way he sees shots like little flicks here and there, it's something that what I believe that snooker players don't see naturally, to say. And when I say snooker players, predominantly snooker players, like, you know, people who play pool as a second game. So he's played a few, probably about 3 or 4 nudging shots. And he's played a double there, and he's missed a double. And that's definitely going to be classed as an unenforced error there. I don't know if he needed to play the double. It didn't make the clearance easier, but I didn't think he needed to play it. But even so, it was deemed to be a relevant easy double, and now he's just opened up the gates for Oly Bale to capitalise. And Oly Bale just put his hand out to apologise for getting that clip onto the black and land himself with a perfect angle on his second from last yellow. So he's just played a nice little clever cannon there. Again, Oly Bale, he doesn't hang around with going for finishes, and sometimes that can hurt the opponent, especially with some of the fast players like you know, Oly Bale, Craig Lakin, Sean Chipperfield. They just go about their business and just put the balls in. You know, Craig Lakin and Sean Chipperfield, they are fast players, but what you find is a different kind of fast. What I believe is Craig Lakin, he kind of walks around the table very quickly, but when he's actually on this shot, he feathers quite a few times, for about 4 feathers maybe, before he takes his shot. So he's kind of down on his shot for an average time, whereas Sean Chipperfield, he's a bit more slower, only a little bit more slower walking around the table than Craig Lakin. However, when he's down on his shot, it's literally 2 feathers and he's off. So again, it's a different kind of quickness, to say. Oly Bale, he's quick, if you want to call it, quick around the table and quick while he's down on the shot. So we're into the 12th frame, and Oly Bale broke there, and that's a lovely break. I can't see any reason why he cannot finish these. So he's hit that a bit hard, so it looks like he's opting to take the black into the right centre, so the yellow in the corner pocket is more likely to be his last ball. So he's just got to run off the side cushion. Gentle shot here. Nope, he's got to screw down. Use the red as a holder. So he's just got to be careful here. And he's done well there. And again, he's just got to drop this off. Just got to make sure that the white ball doesn't spurt off too far of an angle. So he's playing with just a little bit of check side just to kill in, and he's just done all right. And that's frame there for Oly Bale. So a break dish there by Oly Bale. And now he leads 7-5, so he's on the hill. So in effect, Bedford's got to win 3-0 to stay in the tournament. So just the results that I can see on the stream table, on another stream table. So you've got Greg Batten against Ben 40, and that's 2 apiece. So we're here in event 3 of the Supreme Series as the Supreme Masters.
Frame number 13, Old Bedford to break.
And it's frame 13.
Frames to 5.
Old Bedford to break, and he's just giving the whiteboard a spin on the back cushion there. Again, he's got a break. That's exactly identical to his last break. He broke from the side, and the whiteboard went up and down the centre of the table, barring any kind of kick off a ball. So he's given the white space and the table space to breathe, if you want to call it. So every ball has its chance of making a pocket. But he has dry broke, and Oly Bale's taken reds, but he's played a what appears to be a loose shot there, where he was trying to get between the gaps of the 2 yellows in the middle of the table, but he found the wrong line. So he's got away with it this time. He's played a cannon, and the cannon that he's played is still kept the red pot ball. So it's going to seem to be that his last ball is going to be his red on the left-hand side of the table as we look on, where he wants it to get straight on it, or maybe an angle. So either way, the black's going to go into even middle pocket. Depends how he lands on the balls, but he's not played a good shot here at all. So that's lots of inside side. He played that well. So now he's just got to find a little gap there in amongst those 6, that pathway between in the middle of the table of the yellows. And he's come twice across. He doesn't want this to bounce, so he's got hand procuring, so that's perfect to what he could have asked for in the position that he's in. So he's just got to play a nice drag shot maybe, and black into the opposite centre, and it looks like that it's going to be 8-5 victory for Oly Bale. Unlucky Bedford, and that's the end of his campaign there. And congratulations to Oly Bale. That takes him into round 4 of the losers section of this year's Supreme Masters here at Players Club, Newcastle under Lyme. So stay tuned. There's more action to come. We're here to at least 11 o'clock, depending on how the matches go get on. So we're just setting the table for the next match. So the next match will be at, it's due to be 10 o'clock. Or actually, no, I think there's one at 8:15, which has just gone, so it might be a little bit late, I'm not too sure. So yes, the next match coming up, as I can see here, is Phil Harrison versus Darryl Appleton. So
Doubtful, it's more like 250.
Congratulations, Ollie. It's a good win for you, the 8-5 on the loser's side. How do you think you played?
I played okay, Lee. Yeah, the table played fantastic, and the young man was a very good player.
Yeah, well, we looked at the matchup. We thought it'd be a nice, entertaining game for the viewers.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it was nice to play in a good sport.
Yeah, good. Cleveland, you were commentating on it?
yeah, you know, there was a couple of finishes there. There was a period where I think you went in off on the break, and then Cole did, and then you went dry, then he went dry. But I think you just I think you handled the pressure better than he did. Maybe I know that you're more experienced, you know, being a former European champion, and Cole Bedford, a young lad. So maybe the arena might have, you know, got to him a little bit, because there was a couple of little mistakes that he made, especially when he didn't reach to the pocket enough.
Yeah.
But he done well there.
I think that the young lad's got a real good future in the game. He's just got to keep playing, and you know, and he'll get the experience along the way.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like Lee, thank you very much for putting this tour together. It's truly amazing, and I don't think I ever would have played at the highest level again, but thanks to you, I really appreciate you getting this all together, so I got another shot at it. It's brilliant.
Oh no, thanks very much. I mean, what have you been doing whilst you've been away? Have you just had a couple of years out? Or?
I just had 5 years out and never really I lost the love of the game, Lee, to be honest. Once the tour split and everything, and as players disappeared, and I just thought there was no incentive, like, you know, to play. But thank you for this, because this has really got me wanting to play again and wanting me to play a pool table and practice hard again. So thank you very much, Lee, for this opportunity.
No, you're welcome. We need players' support, you know, fans coming to watch the top players, and that's what we need.
And for those who don't know, you know, I know that you've been a YouTube sensation with your one-handed frames back in the days. So, you know, I remember you from being in Yarmouth quite a lot, you know, especially playing on the corner table one-handed games. So you've always been an entertaining player to watch. You know, you kind of see a shot, you make minimal fuss about it, and you just play the shot and you just get on with it. I
do enjoy the way I play. I mean, I would prefer to play very slow, you know, but I do prefer to play with the rhythm and speed, and I suppose the one-handed stuff is good to entertain for exhibitions, like, you know. Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, well, the next match-up, believe it or not, on the loser's side is Darren Appleton and Phil Harrison. So what do you think about that match?
Wow, Lee, that's just a tremendous game to watch. I will be sitting to watch that game. That says it all. They're just truly top-class players, and I loved going up against them over the years, and I love watching them, and I love their characters, and I think they're great guys as well.
Yeah. It goes to show that, you know, this tournament is so wide open. When you're hearing Darren Appleton and Phil Harrison at this stage in the losers section,
and one of them's got to go out.
And one of them's got to go out at this stage. It just goes to show the quality of the players in this tournament, and, you know, with the organisation of yourself and your partners, you know, you've done to get a lot of the players under one roof. Mm-hmm. You know, virtually month in, month out for this year, it's a great
It's what
job.
the sport's been crying out
As you
for.
know, Lee, I don't think 30% of the players that are here now would ever come back playing again at the highest level. And I think it's a credit to you and your club and the sponsors that's involved. I just think it's something that we've needed for a long, long time. And like I say, I echo it again. Thank you very much, Lee, for this opportunity.
I appreciate your kind words, but again, without your support and other player support, we don't get the entries, because we know 90% of the time it's all players that you need to get in the events, and the better sponsorship we get, hopefully one day we'll get to a level where the sponsorship money dictates what the prize money is rather than the players' entry fees. So, okay, thanks very much, Ollie and Cleveland. Like I said, it'll be Phil Harrison against Darren Appleton in a few minutes on the arena table. Tune in and enjoy what will surely be a great match.
Thanks, Lee.